up just annihilating my servo. I got to realizing something, and if you look close in here, you'll notice that I just bolted my servo straight onto my my servo mount, and I did absolutely nothing in the world of providing shock absorption. So I went out and I bought a special material, Sorbo thing. It's actually a material that is specifically designed to absorb the impact of shock. I am just going to come up with every single spot in this vehicle where I think shock absorbing material could go to protect my electronics. Then I'm going to go back to that skate park and we're going to hit that exact same jump. I'm confident that it's going to do its job. I'm excited about it, but I also want to relay the results to you guys. We'll see. Remove these 4 screws and just remove the top of it. So our ESC 2 and our servo is in slot 1. Glitch buster was in B. Giving her a little bit of a scrub down. I'm actually impressed how just well it cleans up after so much time I've had bashing this. So first thing I want to look at is I'm going to take this and we're going to set that in there, and we're going to kind of just mark off the exact height of what this one is. And so I've already kind of gone in and done that. So you can see there that I've put a little mark. So when we come over here, taking a look at, this is the stock one. I was just kind of setting it up on top of some sorbo thing. The aftermarket servo mount is actually a good, I don't know, 2 levels maybe taller. So I just ultimately need to keep that in mind because I need to fill in this gap right here up, which is gonna be approximately probably two layers of sorbothane. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I actually found, so these are actually a hard plastic that I believe came with the stock servo, as well as these little inserts came with the stock servo. So if you guys aren't utilizing these little grommets, at the very least, if you're not going to do this kind of over the top mod with all this shock absorbing material put throughout, at the very least you want to use these. They came with your stock servo, and that'll go a long way to help protect your servo. These were also in there to act, I'm sure, as a riser because this is so short. I'm gonna use this in there more or less in this area. So I could probably use 1 layer of sorbothane and this. And I want to use this because it's a little bit more rigid to provide, because I don't want to stack like a whole bunch of sorbothane up and then I lose some of the, you know, support from the servo mount itself. The other thing that I'm going to be looking at, let me go ahead and remove this, pull this out, and then we're going to take a look. So this servo mount provides a ton more room for this to slide on. In fact, I don't know if you can see it, but you see the gap on the sides here? So part of me wants to see if I can wrap some of my sorbothane and stretch it around this thing so that it kind of tightens it in here so you don't have the potential of side to side movement, which may or may not be possible. I've got like this section here that I can wrap servothane around. The only real needed section though is going to be just the thickness of this. And so I'm going to cut a slice off of this right here. So now the question is, am I going to be able to put this around the servo and fit it in there? Because this is obviously it'll stretch thinner when you pull on it. This is going to prove a little bit more difficult than I was thinking. Yeah, that's not going to happen. All right, guys, so I figured out the best way to get some of this around so that we could basically tighten up this section a bit and also provide a little bit of cushion here. The strategy is going to be as follows. Slide around over it. It ends up providing a much snugger fit. It's tight, and there's a little tiny bit of shock absorption that is taking place here, and so I'm happy with that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut my pieces that are going to fit up under here. So I'm going to push in all 4 of these little grommets into position. And once you've got those in, then you've got these little sleeves that came with the servo, and we're going to push those in. These help to make a stronger connection to the servo mount. Now, you should have 2 of these, which are a little bit harder, and they're a plastic that came with your stock servo, as well as you probably would have had all these with your stock servo. So that was one of the mistakes that I made. Why my servo broke was because I did not install those, which do help quite a bit in the arena of shock absorption. So, all right, so all 4 of those are in, the sleeves are in. I'm planning on putting one of these in on each side, as well as one more, or a sheet of the servothane. So I need to cut, basically, I need to create 2 of these out of the servothane. And if you look, this is going to be my piece I use, and it is slightly too wide. So let's go ahead and so next, here's an idea. Let's pop it off and get these things to tighten through. All right, so push it through all the way. And we're gonna do the same. And we're going to remove more of this. Clear up space for us. I know what you're thinking. It's not worth the trouble to do all this, right? But come on, guys, you have to admit that the whole reason why you got into this hobby was to do this kind of stuff. It's the beauty of this hobby. Totally is. Get it all the way through, like so. Okay. And then do that with this one. And then take our material, simply push it over. Yeah, that was a lot easier. Just do that, both sides. All right, let's put this through. And now is the part where we tighten it down. So it's a slow process to get this thing to tighten in as far as you want it without binding the sorbothane and also binding the upper grommets, because they actually try to bind up too. All right, guys, I am finally done putting that together. So this is the level of detail that I'm going through to provide shock absorption into my Kraton. So if you notice, I've got the grommets installed. Then I have that hard plastic piece that came stock with your stock servo. Then I have another layer of the sorbothane. And it definitely took some patience to get it in there. Then I have 2 layers of sorbothane that I'm going to be putting on the base of the body to provide a very high level of shock absorption into the servo. So now let's get it into the vehicle. All right, so let's see if you can take a close look and see the flex. Anyway, guys, really appreciate you watching my YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, check out my library. Tons of good stuff, tactics on just outside the box thinking type of things to make your Kraton even better. Also, just take a look at the links in the description. It'll send you directly to the source where you can get the shock absorbing material, even those washers. I found those washers. All the products that you would need that I mention in my videos are not only posted in this video, but they're posted in every one of my videos. Anyway, guys, East Tactics out.